friends, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Thanks for watching. Today is a beautiful day, nice and warm, which is such a relief after last week's frigid cold temperatures. I got some beautiful tulips for my birthday and I thought I would share them. I hope they brighten up your day. So today we're going to talk about how we brush our son's teeth and the journey how that has happened. I'm really not coming from a place of I know exactly how to do this. I'm giving you clear, straight instructions on how to do it. Every child is different. Every child will like something different. I'm just sharing with you what works. If you haven't tried this, feel free. If you've tried everything, which I'm sure many of you have, please know I feel your pain, I understand, and I am just hoping and praying that you will find something that works for you soon if you're still in a place of struggle. So early on, Darrion was pretty good about letting us brush his teeth with just those little baby toothbrushes and the fruity flavored toothpaste that you can buy for kids that did not have any fluoride in it. This has been one of those things for us that we had to work on, that we had to figure out as time went on, and then we'd suddenly find ourselves in a place where we can't brush our child's teeth and he likes candy and that was a big part of our whole journey. But one of the things that we struggled with, and please, if you haven't watched the Darrion Said No to the Dentist video, I will link it down below. Feel free to go watch it. It was funny. It's funny now. It was not funny then. But, you know, it kind of explains some of the dentist aspect of it. This is the daily routine of brushing teeth. And so we got to a point where we were working with a government program that was supposed to help families with autism deal with extra expenses, respite, that sort of thing. And we found them incredibly frustrating. I hope that that's not the case if you have a government agency helping. But it took about 9 months to a year to get them to agree that Darrion's teeth decay issues had to do with his autism. And it was incredibly frustrating because there was no phone number you could phone them. The dentist was the one who was the liaison, if you will, between that, and then they didn't even pay the whole bill, which they said they would. So it was a really frustrating thing, but the problem was that we noticed that he had a spot on a couple of his teeth, and we were like, okay, let's get this taken care of. And one of the things Darrion used to love to eat was frozen blueberries. And because of the tooth decay and how long this process was taking, he started to get sensitivities to temperature, and he stopped eating blueberries, and his diet is already pretty restricted as is. So it was pretty frustrating, and he has never ever since then eaten blueberries, which is incredibly frustrating because you're like, blueberries are so good for you, parenting win, it's got antioxidants and vitamins and minerals and, you know, superfood, and he's like, yeah, no. So even though it's been years since that incident, it's off the list. So I found that incredibly frustrating. But I was looking for anything that we could do to try and help his teeth. And I came across an article about oil pulling. Now, there is no way on God's green earth that my son is going to swish coconut oil in his mouth for 3 to 5 minutes every single night. But what I tried to do was take this, because he started not liking any toothpaste, and so it had gotten so bad that I was just brushing with water because that was like the only desperate thing I could do. So once I came across that article, I put this on his teeth at night after he was already in bed and had the majority of his water. I really wanted it to be like, you're falling asleep, let me get that on your teeth, so that it has all night to sit and try and kill any bacteria and bugs on your teeth. Did this for about a year, and while it helped it not get worse, it didn't, of course, fix it. And so it was really, really frustrating. It was one of those things where I wish things had been a little bit easier in that department. And so again, it was just one of those things where you're like, desperation forces you to start buying all new things, attempt new things. And so the one thing that we landed on was this toothbrush called Dent Trust. And it's just one of those things. I'm going to try and, so it's got a tongue cleaner on it, and then it also, I'm using the tulips shadow, but it has just this little area, and I'll show you the picture on the back because it just shows you a little bit more. So yeah, the tooth is completely encased in these brushes, and then it allows you to actually clean all of the teeth with less brush strokes. So instead of taking however long you're supposed to take on brushing your teeth, you can do it in significantly less time with this. And so that's the one that we really like. But we also like it for another reason, is because Darrion will actually use it himself. Yay! And so I'll get into that a little bit. The toothpaste that we tried, I still have a full bottle because Darrion did not like it. I think it's mainly because it's just this foreign substance that doesn't have any flavor to it, and he just was like, this is too weird and I don't like it. And so this one I got on Amazon. I will try and link it down below as well. And the toothbrush is from Amazon as well. And then the one that we ended up settling on is this Koala Pals fluoridated toothpaste. Fluoridated? I don't know. Fluoride tooth gel. And what I do is I really push it into the bristles, and then we brush his teeth that way. This way, the other thing is there are people out there who go, fluoride is evil and it's going to kill our kids, and don't use it. And then there are other people who are like, it's absolutely fine. We have found for our own personal needs is that ever since we started using fluoride toothpaste, Darrion has not gotten another cavity. And if you watched my Darrion Says No to the Dentist video, you understand why I am in complete denial about ever having to go back. Or I'm waiting until he's able to like sit and let the dentist do his job, and then we don't have to put him under. So yeah. So this one, it does say if more than used for brushing is accidentally swallowed, get medical help or poison control right away. So essentially, if you're using this as a sippy box, then you're in trouble. But for using on your teeth for brushing, you're fine. And we haven't noticed Darrion have any difficulties with his tummy or anything like that. So that is what we do. As far as how we brush his teeth, so for his sisters who are typical, they sit at the table and they eat their meals, and then they go to the bathroom, brush their teeth, and go to bed. Darrion is not like that, and it's part of the Sunrise program where if it causes a fight and it causes all sorts of consternation for you and them, it's really important to evaluate what's really important about how things are done, because they're going to do things when they're ready. So for Darrion, we call him, we make his meals, we go, here you go, buddy, and he takes it into the living room. We also take his toothbrush into the living room once he's done eating and snacks. We found that if we tried to force him to the table, he would fight it. He would not eat as well as he should. And given that this child does not eat breakfast because he does not want breakfast, it is really, really important that he actually eat the meals that we do give him. And then the same thing goes with teeth brushing. It was one of those fights that was completely not worth the aggravation to go drag him into the bathroom and fight it. So what we do instead is we bring this fully loaded to the living room, and we used to brush his teeth, but eventually, after many, many months of offering it to him, he took it and said yes, but he wanted it in his toes. Thus the picture on the thumbnail. So he brushes his teeth with this plunked into his toes and then his hand around it. And if he lets go with his hands and just doing it with his toes, I don't count. If he gets distracted, I don't count. So yeah, bud. More salt. Okay, 1 minute. So he goes 1, 2, 3, and if he lets go, I go 4, 5, and I make it last a lot longer so that he knows he has to brush more. If I've forgotten to start counting because I'm talking to my husband or something, he's mommy, mommy. And then he also does that with his front teeth, and I do go over it just to make sure, because sometimes he's looking sideways, and so I think he misses some on this side. But I also do his tongue for him. The other thing I would share with you is this toothbrush is brand new because the one that he used to have fell in the toilet plunger bucket. Yucky, gross, evil, wrong. And I did what I always do with the toothbrushes when they need a good getting rid of the germs. I can't remember what that word is right now, but whenever I'm trying to disinfect, there we go, disinfect. When I'm trying to disinfect them, I boil a whole bunch of water and I put them in a big cylinder jar and I disinfect them that way. And I tried to do that with this. It was a no-go. These bristles, if you have a child that has super, super sensitive teeth and gums, the bristles aren't super hard. But you can actually put them under tap water and they soften. So when I put them under boiling water, they disintegrated, and yeah, so we had to get a new one. But they're really great. Darrion has had no problems with them, and he is doing his teeth by himself. I have no concerns about him staying in the living room. Pardon? Oh, you need a sign in too. Oh man. I'll be right there, bud. So it's just one of those things that I have no concerns that he's going to eventually be doing this in the bathroom. He's going to be eating at the table. All of those things that the Sunrise program talks about is it's allowing them to do it in their time when they are ready. So I hope this video has been helpful, or just